Ghostbusters Frozen Empire isn't just another addition to the Ghostbusters franchise, it's a complete rework of the mythology, a continuation of where Afterlife left off, and an emotionally complex story dealing with themes like loss, betrayal, and resentment. Here's everything I could dig up. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire plans on picking up where Ghostbusters Afterlife left off, when Egon's grandchildren and the rest of the Ghostbusters defeated Gozer. The reason why Afterlife is getting its own sequel is because of how much both critics and fans truly loved it. It had a ton of heart that hasn't been seen in the previous Ghostbusters sequels. It really wasn't until Jason Reitman stepped in as director and told a deeply emotional story that also served as a tribute to Harold Ramis. Frozen Empire will also be bringing the franchise back to its original New York City roots. The Spengler family is returning to the New York City firehouse to team up with the original Ghostbusters. The film is also set in the summer, ironically, but when the discovery of a powerful ancient artifact unleashes a mysterious evil force, the Ghostbusters have to come together to save their home and the world from a lethal second ice age. Although Jason Reitman stepped down as director for Frozen Empire, he's still heavily involved as a co-writer and producer. He did manage to reveal to fans that there's a high probability we're going to see a lot of familiar faces from the Ghostbusters' past. Quote, "There is a lot of time and opportunity for Vigo the Carpathian to make his return." Look, are you saying that's the only painting of Vigo the Carpathian? Maybe he's riding a horse in another one. Maybe impaling someone in another one. Naturally, it makes sense they'll be bringing back characters from the franchise because in Ghostbusters Afterlife, we did get to see the return of Gozer and her evil minions. I'll be getting more into what that means for the future here in a minute. The entire cast of Ghostbusters Afterlife is going to be returning to Frozen Empire, most notably the Spengler family, McKenna Grace as Egon's granddaughter.
McKenna Grace is a spectacular actress, and she's basically going to be our new CEO.
Finn Wolfhard as his grandson, and Carrie Coon as his daughter. It's also been confirmed we're going to be seeing Paul Rudd.
Then we have, of course, Paul Rudd, a master comedian, probably.
Logan Kim, Celeste O'Connor, Bill Murray, and Annie Potts, among many others who have had previous roles in the franchise. The only person we're going to be missing from the previous cast is Sigourney Weaver, but we are getting some fresh faces on the screen, like Patton Oswalt, James Acaster, and Emily Alyn Lind. Something we can expect from Frozen Empire is a change in the emotional stakes. Basically, the plot is going to be driven by some powerful emotions and difficult themes. The characters are battling with things like betrayal, loss, and forgiveness. Dan Aykroyd, who plays the iconic role of Ray, revealed a little bit about how his character is going through one of the most challenging periods of his life, even to the point of describing him as resentful.
You know, things have passed him by, Ghostbuster, in this one, you know, because he's no longer licensed.
It makes sense though, as Ray has been through so much throughout the decades. It's a completely different world for him compared to where he was in 1984. And speaking of different worlds, we're getting a whole new narrative of mythology the Ghostbusters franchise has never seen before. It's been confirmed that this Frozen Empire world is in a post-Gozerian era, which opens up a ton of space to create something new for the characters to face. Director Gil Kenan opened up about his new direction for the film in an interview with Empire magazine. Quote, "There are all new and terrifying stakes with fresh visual references to draw on." Does anyone have any theories on some of the things we might be seeing? What I do know is that they wanted to close out the Gozer chapter with the Spengler family leading the narrative in Afterlife, but now with both the new and old generations coming together, they are able to take a completely different direction that audiences have never seen before. Because we are in a post-Gozerian era, that means the Ghostbusters are gonna have to face a whole new big bad. In the film's poster, recently released by Sony, you can see New York City is being threatened by what looks like an army of frozen spirits that put the city at risk of being frozen over. What has been confirmed is that the new villain is called Death Chill, which has the power to end life through fear alone and freeze everything that steps into its path. So with the end of one major villain comes the birth of a brand new one, and it looks like the Ghostbusters are going to have their hands full when it comes to containing their own fear and keeping calm when everything around them is turning to ice. With brand new mythology driving the story, familiar faces feeding our insatiable nostalgia, a plot that could take us in any direction, a brand new villain, and terrifying emotional stakes driving this new film, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire isn't like anything we've seen before in the franchise. What are you most excited to see?